Chapter 23. Victor. Nathan taps my shoulder and pulls me off Kelsey. He passes me a paper towel and I wipe my lips and chin. I glance over at her and notice how pale her skin has become. I touch her arm and feel the cold. Nathan, do something, I yell. She's not dead, I assure you. He runs a hand through his hair. She should be awake by now. And what if she doesn't wake up? I can't take the chance of losing her. I bring my wrist to my lips and bite. Drops of crimson flow down my arm. Wait, Victor! He shouts and stops me. Give it another minute. I'm looking at her lifeline. It's still strong. Then why is she awake? My hand trembles. The possibility that I might lose her grips my heart. Honestly, I don't know, he sighs. Go ahead and do it. I just saw her tether flicker. There's no time to waste. I lower my bleeding wrist to Kelsey's mouth. My heart stops as I watch the drops slide between her lips. Seconds pass. Slowly, her skin color improves. Heat returns to her body. More time passes before her eyes flutter open. I move my arm. Kelsey licks her lips. The moment she discovers what's on the surface, she sits up. Are you okay? I ask her. What happened? She wipes at her mouth. Why am I tasting blood? I close my eyes and inhale. She'll be okay. But how do I tell her? Tell me what? My head jerks up. Did I really just hear her thoughts? Victor, what's wrong? She asks. I look over at Nathan. We've got a bigger problem here. You turned her. He's not asking me a question. A wave of anger practically knocks me off the sofa. I hear Kelsey's heart pounding like the beating of a drum signaling the start of war. She's as mad as a maggot, and I don't blame her for a second. I get it. That same fury had been my constant companion for years after Luke stole my life, like a thief in the night, with little regard for my wishes. But you did it anyway, to me. I'm sorry, Kelsey. We were losing you. I would have been better off lost. If I might interject, Nathan says. I explained to you, Kelsey, that there were no guarantees. You accepted the risk. Her eyes, cold and hard, glare at the Reaper. You should have let me die. No words could undo the damage done to either of us. This would be our crossroads. Either she'll forgive me and we'll face the aftermath together, or she'll move on without me. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Where would I go? She stands and walks to the window. I'm at a loss here. I don't know what's the best thing to do. Nathan's hand lands on my shoulder. Give it time. Both of you need to come to terms with what's happened. Perhaps Luke can be of some assistance. I hadn't thought of that. Thanks. Anytime, my friend. I need to gather my jacket from the kitchen and I'll be gone. Victor? Yeah, Kelsey? She faces me and I see her fangs. I'm hungry. My heart sinks. We need to go to the mansion. Good thing I drove. Kelsey doesn't speak during the entire drive back to the mansion. Fear grips my chest. It wasn't my intention to turn her. Not yet. Adding her to the ranks of unwilling monsters in Falls Creek wasn't needed. But you did, she finally says. I'm going to have to remember you can read my thoughts too. I shake my head and glance at her. Kelsey, I'm sorry. The alternative would have been keeping your fangs off me. Her voice wavers. Yes. What I did was selfish, irresponsible, stupid. Slap whatever word you want on it. But what's done is done, Kelsey. You heard Nathan. We can't undo it. I can only help you get through this. She looks out the window. I can't blame you for all of it. I should have stayed away from you. If I hadn't been stalling with Colt, none of this would have happened. You would have been happy as an incubus consort? Yes. No. Maybe. Hell, I don't know. It's not like I'll find out now. Do you honestly think I can be happy like this? She waves her hand over her body. What am I anyway? Vampire? Succubus? Something else? It remains to be seen. We'll talk to Luke. See what he has to say. I turn my focus back to the road. We'll be at the mansion in a few more minutes. Beaumont is waiting in the study when we arrive. He points to the chairs in front of the fire. An opaque decanter and 2 glasses sit on the black oak table. You know what happened? I asked him. I sensed it as soon as your car came through the gates. How bad is it? Kelsey steps out of the shadow. I'm hungry. Does that answer your question? I see. Beaumont pours her a glass and passes it. You chose a succubus who's short on manners. She takes the glass and downs it. Wiping her mouth with the back of her hand, she says, Patience is what I'm short on. His expression tightens. Kelsey, love, you need to stop. You're pissing Beaumont off. Why should I care? You should care, young demon, because how you spend your eternity is within my power. If you don't want to find yourself entombed in this basement, I suggest you find an ounce of dignity and shut the hell up. He stalks over to the bar, pours himself a couple of fingers worth of brandy, and tosses the liquid back without grimacing. I apologize for Kelsey, Beaumont. She doesn't know. He slams the glass down, shattering it into tiny pieces. None of us know anything about what she's become. This requires patience from all of us, including the spoiled brat. Apologize, Kelsey, before we're both put behind a wall. She cuts her eyes toward me. You can't be serious. Deadly. Please. If you care about me at all, you'll say you're sorry. Kelsey rolls her eyes. I'm sorry for my behavior. Better. You should know that I can hear all your thoughts. Victor was right about me putting you behind a wall. You'll be fortunate if Luke doesn't do it. He won't be pleased about this. I won't be pleased about what? Speak of the devil. Luke comes closer. He takes one look at Kelsey and stops in his tracks. His cold eyes drift over to me. You did this? I sink down on one of the chairs. Yes, I didn't intend to turn her. I made the mistake and tasted her. Beaumont explained to me that I had to either kill her or turn her. There was a possibility of a third way. It didn't work. Obviously not, Luke announced. You have created quite the chaotic situation. Now I'll have to call a council meeting. And the Najax? I ask. Luke holds his head back and looks at the ceiling. Hell. He's going to want a meeting. With who? You, of course. Great. I get to meet the demon himself. Is this how Dorothy felt before she went to see the wizard?